has changed you as well. So will you tell us some of your story?
I'm really nervous. What was my life like before I received Christ as my Savior? Basically, I would say I was bound by chains, shackled like a slave, a prisoner, captive inside my own body. I knew from a young age who Jesus was and what he stood for. It seemed as though all my life I have been searching and seeking out Jesus, yet I could never find him, and he would never come to me. No matter how many times I opened the door he was knocking on, he never actually entered the door of my heart. I felt like a prisoner in my own body all my life. I could feel the war that was waging inside my soul between Jesus and the devil. To deal with these things, I turned to drugs, drinking, unhealthy relationships, among other things. I was always so filled with rage, even when I didn't know why myself. I started lying and stealing. By age 8, I was stealing cigarettes and smoking my dad's cigarettes and stealing them from gas stations even. I started drinking and doing drugs at a young age as well. And at this point in my life, drugs meant just marijuana. My anger was raging out of control. It was always my way or else. When I was young, I abused my older sister emotionally, mentally, and physically. I even chased her with knives. My parents decided the best course of action would be to move to a small town where Katie couldn't get into trouble anymore. When we moved, I remember we had to change all the doors in our house because they were full of stab marks from when I would try and stab my sister, and she'd run and hide from me. A change in scenery, however, could not change the rage I felt inside. I quickly became popular in my new school. Over the next 2 years, that would change, however, very dramatically. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at age 10, and I was in and out of psychiatric hospitals and group homes for the next 12 years with various suicide attempts. They put me on a lot of medication. Some of them made me gain weight. One day at school, a boy said I was getting fat and started making fun of me. After a couple days, humiliated, I would shyly ask the girls that I had just been making fun of a few days ago with my so-called friends if I could sit with them at their table at lunch. They'd look at me with disgust, but agree to let me sit with them. My old friends now made fun of me daily, as did many others, and this only fueled my rage. I wanted to hurt them. I made new friends that day, however, and I will never forget what one of them said to me after just a few days of friendship. She was brave enough to stand up to me and ask why I said the mean things I said to her only weeks before. After knowing this strong girl, who would soon become one of my best friends, only for a short time, I knew her only for a short time, not she was my best friend for a long time. I was deeply shamed.